hello. My name is Agnes, and this is Sizwe Podcast. You know, as a parent, I always advise my children go to school, get good grades, get a career, and become a doctor, a lawyer, or maybe engineer. But there has never been a time I have told my child, go to school and become somebody like one person I'm going to interview today. I won't tell you yet. When I was a child, my father told me, when you grow up, you work at London Post Office. Remember, my father was born in 1938, so all that he could aspire to was have one of his 12 children work in London Post Office. I never got to work there though. But today, I am so honored to sit in the studio with Simo. Simo is a pilot, guys. Can you imagine? I have traveled the world. I have sat in so many airplanes. I have never been so close to somebody like this gentleman. And I'm so honored. Welcome, Simo.
Oh, thank you very
How
much.
in the world did you get to become a pilot and I am not?
Mostly right place, right time, luck, blessed beyond measure. Thank you for having me. Truly, I'm honored to be here just as much.
Oh, more than me? Huh? Like, I'm just about... oh my goodness. Tell me something about you, who you are, who you are, where you are from.
I know that song. I know exactly which song you're singing. As you mentioned, my name is Simo. Full name is Simosake Eric Nkomazana, but I go by Simo for just to make things easy for everybody else. Born and raised in Zimbabwe. Came to Canada when I was 16.
What?
Yeah, so 2009. 29 years old, just in case you're wondering.
Oh, are you married?
No.
Okay, that makes me more excited. I have a daughter ready for you.
Oh.
Yes.
Someday soon, hopefully.
Yes.
Yes, as you said, I'm a pilot and I work for one of the second largest regional carrier in Canada.
Wow.
Yes.
This is mind-blowing. Oh, okay. Let me just settle myself down and say, how did you get into piloting to start with? Were you playing so much video games? Or what kind of things that pushed you all the way there to be a pilot?
Okay, so for me, it's kind of crazy because it started when I was super young. I had an uncle who I looked up to. He was only a few years older than me. He was the smartest guy I ever met. And we used to hang out quite a lot over the holidays, and he wanted to be a pilot as well.
Oh.
Smartest guy I know. And we would just sit there looking up at the sky and seeing airplanes. You know, in Africa, it's just like one plane a day, and that'll be the first part of the day, right? So I looked up to him so much. I'm like, I want to be a pilot too, because he says it's a cool thing. And from then on, it just built up. And I had no idea how I was going to do it.
Yeah.
And it's in Africa, so our resources are quite limited.
Yes.
So, fortunately or unfortunately for him, he decided to take a different path. He pursued music. He's a great artist. He plays the guitar. He's done quite a bit for himself. And I was left, to kind of carry on the mantle and, follow this whole piloting thing, even though I had no idea how to do it. So that's why in the beginning I said I've been super blessed and super fortunate to be in this position because I didn't know how I was going to do it.
Yes.
Because it's an expensive enterprise, and in Africa there's not too many opportunities to do it. Just like in Canada as well, you have to have a lot of money to pursue that as well.
Wow. Huh. Guys, if you've just joined us, this is Sizwe Podcast, and today I am talking to a very nice gentleman who will one day become my son-in-law. God bless my heart. And he is a pilot. Guess what? He was born and raised in Zimbabwe, got to Canada at age 16. So if my kids or any other immigrant youth, children that we give birth here, first generation, second generation, are listening to you, Simo, if they are in high school and they are aspiring to become pilots, what are the courses that they need to concentrate on?
Okay, all right. So contrary to the popular belief that it's impossible, it's so hard to become a pilot, here in Canada it's totally different. Talk to a few kids here and there. And also, I forgot to mention, and not only my pilot, I was also an instructor, flight instructor. So that helped me kind of get into teaching people how to fly. So that helps me know what the system, what the whole process is like.
So you are not just a pilot; you can teach people how to fly the plane.
Yes, that's where I started. That was my first job in aviation for a few years there.
So they have to go to aviation school.
Yes.
Take me there.
All right. So ideally, what you want to do is you gotta have somewhat of a passion for the industry, because flying is not just a job. It's a passion. It's more than, for me. It's now, again, I do this for fun. This is
This is where your heart is.
This is where my heart is. I go to work. I'm more than excited to go to work every day. I finish work. I'm like, I have to go home, and I'm just looking forward to going back to work. So the passion has to be there to begin with, because it's a lot. It's a very demanding career.
So it's not like me forcing my daughter to be a lawyer and pushing her, and if her passion is not there, that's not an area.
Yeah, if there's no passion, then you're not gonna get too far, because it's very demanding. On top of, it's not exactly, as I say, it's not hard, but it's demanding, right?
It is.
You get to miss out. You have to start off. You have to have some sort of discipline in high school to know what you want to do, and then apply for either college, or you can do it privately. If you have money, the best way is to just go private, because it's quicker. But if your resources are a little bit limited, you can go through colleges. There's some colleges that a lot of people don't know about. They're government subsidized, which I was fortunate enough to find one. And it becomes much affordable, especially for, I hate to say, I lean towards the minority youth.
Yes.
Right? That's what I try to talk to and get into the industry, because we don't have much.
Yes.
So for the minority youth, we have programs that are government subsidized, and we can get into that, and it's so much easier. The harder part for us is that shock factor when you walk in there, because it's way out of our comfort zone.
Yes.
So that adjustment really knocks a lot of people out.
Oh my goodness. So I'm still trying to get the kids to be a pilot.
Okay.
So by the time they are leaving high school, are there special courses that they might have fulfilled, like science area, math, doing statistics, or just drawing maps? And how do they have the passion? They have to be serious in school, but what are the courses they have to major in from high school?
All right, so if you're going to go through a college or a university to get into aviation, it is a good idea, and I highly recommend that you be somewhat decent, not strong, like crazy strong, decent in mathematics.
Okay, I failed.
Yeah, I was the same too. I had to, kind of brush up on my mathematics.
No, you are not. I get allergies when I'm doing math. I'm so happy my daughter is so good with math.
Yeah, so if you're decent in math, you'll do good. And sciences as well, they recommend, because you will take those programs as electives no matter what. They will be
it's part of your core courses. Okay.
So I personally had to work more in math and sciences than I had to work in aviation-related courses. Because in aviation-related courses, you go fly in the morning, and then you do school in the afternoon, and it kind of makes sense. Whereas I'm learning math and the Pythagoras theorem, and what does that have to do with my flying, right? So until this day, I'm still trying to figure that out. So
can you imagine? See, that's why I didn't like math.
Yeah, so when you have those and you're somewhat decent, it makes it easier for you once you get to fly school. You can focus on the actual flying itself.
Oh my goodness. Guys, if you are just joining me, you see, I'm so excited. Like, I am with Simo. Simo is a pilot. And the most important thing is I'm talking to you, because if he is a pilot and all the things that he's saying, I thought that like 1 in a million child can be a pilot because of all the requirements. But if you are in high school, you love math, you do all your core courses well, you can either go to college, or you can enter into the aviation school directly. Please. The next plane I fly should be one of the kids who are listening to us today. And this is Sizwe Podcast. My name is Agnes. Simo, you see, I am so excited, because 1 in a million would I sit in a plane and I see the pilots. And even when I see them, like when we are waiting to fly, they come with their suitcase. They are the first people who go into the plane. I'm like, wow, look at their outfits. Wow. And I look at you and you are just 5 feet away from me. My goodness. Guys, I am here with Simo. He's a pilot.
I'm not gonna lie, I might be a little bit on the special side because I still get super excited about going to work. You know, just even when I see other pilots.
Honestly, because me, when I was growing up, footballers and drivers, I was wondering why they get paid, because I'm like, you are playing football and thousands of people are cheering you on and you get paid. And drivers, I thought, oh, drivers, they are driving the car. So for me, I think you don't have to get paid because you really enjoy the job. But how busy are you?
If you had asked me this last month, I'll be like, I'm not busy at all. Now, as of May, we know with the whole pandemic kind of slightly behind us, things are starting to pick up. And I am the busiest I've been in a long time. And I'm going to say it's a little bit more exhausting than I thought it would be.
Very good, because that's the question I was asking. Do you get to take a break? Do you get to go for vacation? Is it like any other job where you go to work at 9 and come home by 5? Is piloting like that, or it's like go, 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 go?
All right, so piloting is a very big, it's a broad field, right? It depends on what you want to do.
Okay.
You can be an instructor, work 9 to 5.
Oh.
It's a simple schedule.
Like teaching in the school.
In the class, and it makes you're home every day. Or you can be in the airlines, and that takes you home quite often.
Yeah.
So a lot of people might struggle with that. It's something you have to be suited for. Like, you can't just say, oh, I love being in my bed. If you're somebody who's attached to your bed, this is not the industry.
This is not the industry for you.
Far from it, because it'll get exhausting very quickly. This whole month I've been in my own bed like maybe 3 nights, right?
What?
So 3-4 nights. That's me. Yeah.
That is fun.
It is fun. You have to make it fun.
Yes.
You have to make it fun. Fortunately for me, I work in a company that there's a lot of fun people.
Oh, okay.
And there's a lot of people who are passionate about what they do. Right? They become your family away from home because you spend more time with them than your actual family.
Yes.
And I'll elaborate a little bit on the schedules there. Like, I'll speak on the airline side. We usually go for 3-4 days, sometimes as much as 5 days.
Oh.
Right? So you're in the hotels for like 5 days every night. So that's something you have to be prepared for. And those days you're working anything from 1 flight to 5 flights, which is quite a bit.
Like you fly this plane and you are switching to another plane.
If you're fortunate, you'll keep the same plane the whole 5 days.
Oh, okay.
If you're unfortunate, you'll be switching planes every sector. And what a lot of people don't realize is there's 2 pilots, right?
Yes.
Not to insult anybody. And how it works is, maybe let's say in a day with 4 flights.
Okay.
There's a captain and there's a first officer. I'm a first officer. So the captain will usually do the first flight. And then on the next flight, we switch. I do that flight.
Okay.
So I'm the pilot. When I say the captain is doing the flight, he's the one operating the controls.
Yes.
Right? He pulls the power, everything. Whereas I'm on somewhat of a supporting role. I do the communications, I talk to the ATC clearances, all that planning. And then on the next flight, we switch over. I'm the one on the controls. And he's the one doing the supporting, right? So we're pretty much doing the same thing back and forth. Because I've heard that people say, okay, first officers just don't do anything, or captains do everything. No, we just switch and forth. Otherwise, it'd be exhausting.
Hi guys, have you ever sat very close to a pilot? Yes, today I got the chance to, and I'm here with Simo. Simo is a pilot, and he is sitting so close to me, and I'm talking to him. I feel so excited, and you know why? Because I have a son that I have never thought that I would tell him, go and be a pilot. I thought it was something so far away for me to even think about it, let alone to encourage my children to participate in that and become a professional pilot. But Simon sitting here, coming from Zimbabwe, coming to Canada at the age of 16, give me so much encouragement. And you know, I am so passionate because most of the children that we work with, they are new immigrants. And they go through so much challenges. I brought my son here when he was 15. And the challenge of I think you said something that the shock. How was it like for you? Because my son couldn't stand even the shock of high school. I ended up doing a homeschooling. How did you go through all of that at age 16? The girls are looking at you, what? Tell me. And if they are listening, I want you to tell them that they can.
Yes. The shock part, it's a big thing. I personally despised the first 2 years I was here in Canada. I wanted to go home so bad.
Oh.
And it just didn't make sense. You know, you come from a structured society and you come here, kids kind of have quite a bit of freedom.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
So to put it politely. And so having to go to a high school where you do whatever you want,
yes,
it made it hard. Like I'm trying to study, but everyone else is playing. So you have to kind of be disciplined to stay on track. And then you go to college, it's especially in aviation, it's a totally different field thing. Now it's super structured. You go from 0 to 100 very, very quickly. And the colleges, most aviation colleges are so far away from the city. I came to Toronto initially, and my college was in Thunder Bay. I didn't even know where Thunder Bay was right now.
Tell me about it. Maybe now that you are flying.
Yeah, I didn't even know where it was.
Yes.
Until we showed up, I remember I showed up there with my mother, and we were laughing like, this is like the country of Canada. You know? We came to Canada thinking it's all nice and lights, and then we ended up in Thunder Bay. It's like, geez, you know, I should have stayed back home. So that adds to the shock value too, and you are really away from that diverse place like Toronto that you come into.
Yes, yeah.
And you're now in a very unfamiliar territory. And when I got there, you could tell that they were also just equally shocked to see you there.
Yeah.
So it's a clash of cultures.
Yes.
They're trying to figure out what, the day-to-day, and also trying to learn about flying and whatnot. And then the worst part is, for us, as you said, we're immigrants and whatnot, so we don't have too many people who are I have nobody in aviation really. Then I show up to class and half the kids have their fathers, mothers, or whatever, they are in the aviation industry, they're pilots.
Yes. So it's like a generational thing.
Yeah. So these are third, fourth generation people. They know everything. They know everything. Right? So the first semester for them is just a breeze. I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, what is going on? Right? So they're like, let's go party tonight. Let's go, do this. I'm like, I can't. I don't know what the teacher was talking about. And
I need
like,
to
you
go.
don't know what this plane is. You don't know what this is. I'm like,
yes, I don't.
Right? So you're starting from way back there, and you're trying to catch up. And it really gave me a bit of a hard time. And not to say it's not doable. As you can tell, I'm not the sharpest knife in the
You are so much. No, honestly, like to even go through and like you talking, when I settled down, I am an African mother. So when my son couldn't stand the shock, I was like everywhere. But eventually when I settled down and I listened to him, I heard this. So the shock of even being in a country at age 15 was too much for him. And so I really, really admire so much of all that you have gone through. And guys, like he said, he is your role model because he didn't even have anybody in the aviation school to look up to. But now we have somebody sitting here close to me. Miss Agnes, please, you have to be a pilot. I beg. Thank you so much, Simon. Is there any other thing that you want to add to this? And we really, really want you back for this summer camp. Please take some 4-day break.
If I'll try and make time for the summer camp.
At least for the barbecue.
It's definitely for the barbecue. And to answer the question, anything I'd like to add, I'm reachable. I'm going to put myself out there, and people can reach me through you.
Yes.
I'm more than happy to talk to anybody who wants to become a pilot. The more we have in the industry, the better it is for everybody. I look forward to engaging with people from Africa and any other kids just to get them in the industry and say, hey man, we can do this. Hey girl, we can do this. So if anybody wants to get into in this industry, get in touch. I will help you out. As I said, I was a flight instructor. I was a student. I'm an immigrant.
Wow.
I'm an airline pilot. So
yes.
And with that, I have a lot of access to a lot of different people. Like in military, if you want to go through the military and become a fighter pilot, I have friends who are there. So now the biggest thing is I'm working on networking so I can pass it forward. Because for me, this is pointless if I cannot share it with anybody. And the best days of my life are when I can share this with other people, and I really appreciate being here and being invited to do this. Your
mom and especially your family must be proud of this nice gentleman. Last night I work with immigrant children and youth, and sometimes I get a conversation with their parents. Guys, if you are just joining us, this is Sizwe Podcast, and I'm talking to Simo. Simo is a pilot. Let me just put it like he is a flight instructor. He can fly a big airplane. And this mother was telling me, Miss Agnes, I'm about to kick my son out of my house. Why? Because he doesn't want to go to school. And I'm like, wait, I have Simon here. I didn't even know I was meeting you today. But talk to that parent. I think one of the challenges that we face, because we come from different culture, and you said it, you come from a structured culture. In my country, you go to school or you are nothing. Then we bring our kids here, and there's so much possibilities, so much things that they should take advantage of, and they get off track. And we, the parents, get frustrated, and sometimes we say things that we are not supposed to say, we do things that we are not supposed to do. What are some of the challenges that your mom went through with you that you can use as an experience to tell me, because I'm still struggling?
Okay. So my parents did, struggle a little bit because I knew I wanted to be a pilot, but I didn't know how to get to do it, and that for me was a letdown. And so because of that, I started looking into other careers, which I'll be honest, at that point I was like, I'll just be a truck driver. My dad was livid. He's like, I didn't bring you all.
Oh my goodness!
So he has to bring you here and become a truck driver.
That's the fight between me and my husband every time. Like I am being a little bit culturalized than my husband, right? So like, oh, give them time. It's like, no, you are spoiling the kids.
Yes. So that's the main issue there. I find with us, we don't have too many role models.
Yes.
Which is why I try to put myself out there. It's I don't like it, but I have to, because I didn't have anybody saying, hey man, you can do it and this is how you do it.
Yes.
So I was like, I'm gonna be a truck driver and call it a day. He's like, go become a lawyer. I don't care. Do a lawyer. I'm like, I don't want to be a lawyer. I can't put someone in the prison. I'll be I can't. How do I know if he's guilty? He's like, just go figure it out, make money, and I do it.
Yes.
And so somehow I ended up being a pilot, and I guess I got them off my back for a little bit.
So how would you encourage the parents who are struggling, especially the immigrant parents?
Take your time, talk to the kid. Parents know, you guys know us better than we know ourselves. My mom knew me so well, I'm like, oh, okay, this is a bit scary.
Do they have eyes at the back of
Yeah, you guys know us so much better, and you know what we're good at and what we're not good at.
Yeah.
Don't force, just guide, and keep the dialogue going back and forth. Try this, try that, but also emphasize that there's a timeline in it as well. We don't have the same luxury as people who are born here. They have fallbacks, they have generational wealth to fall back on. This is it for us for now.
Awesome.
Right? So
I like that.
There's a time limit for, figuring ourselves out.
Thank you so much, Simon. I feel like choking because it's hard. Like, we came all the way here, we brought our kids, we gave birth here. The opportunities that we see and we saw, sometimes we get disappointed. By looking at you and listening to you, I want to tell all my friends, my parents, and all the parents that are struggling. You have a son, you have a daughter, you expect the person to become lawyer, a doctor, engineer. You have never told that person to become a pilot. Please tell them to become pilots today. And we will bring Simon back in this summer, and if we have time, we will bring some of the youth here so that they can have a chance to talk to him. Please tell them to give you 4 days off for this summer, because we need the boys and the girls to sit here in this studio to ask you the questions.
For sure. In terms of this and talking to kids and helping them out, I will take a whole week and make it happen. As I say, I did the summer camp with you guys last year.
Yes.
Still the best job I've had. I enjoy teaching.
Yes, and they talk about you all the time.
Yeah, so it's because I wanted that when I was younger, and I didn't get that.
Yeah.
So, and I feel that's important, to have that, for the other kids.
Thank you. And thank you guys for listening to us. And this is Sisway Podcast. We'll bring the curtains down here, and we'll see you all next week with another wonderful guest. I'm not telling you yet, but wait for it. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.